talked about fearless, what did we talk about last week?
Trust.
Trust, that's it. Fearless trust. And we talked about the need to overcome our fear about having control. How we need to let go of some of our control so that we can trust others. So that we can make room for new ideas and new people and the new life that that can bring to our community and our congregation. Today we're talking about fearless service. We heard this wonderful testimony from Paula and Wayne. And they told us kind of the highlights of the good things. They wanted you to engage in service. But one of the things that can keep us from taking that leap of faith is the fear of failure. That before we even begin, we're afraid that what we're about to do won't pan out. It won't work out. In our reading today, we see that failure is a reality even for Jesus. This whole section of Scripture begins with Jesus on the boat with his disciples. And they're in a storm. And the boat's about to sink. And then Jesus calms the waters. And the disciples, instead of seeing this as a testimony of Jesus' power, of his calling, and of who he is, instead, they question him. They say, who is this guy that he can do these things? And then, Jesus continues with his ministry, and he heals a young girl who appears dead. And when he's about to heal her, the friends and family that are gathered around, instead of respecting him and respecting his authority, they question him and mock him. They laugh at him when he's about to heal her. And then today he comes, in the reading that we hear, to his hometown. And you think that the people who know him from when he was young will be excited and proud of him, what he has done. And yet, what do? They insult him and take offense. Now, what would you do if you were Jesus at this point in your ministry? After having been questioned, having been mocked, having been insulted, what would be your next step? Quit! Toss in the towel. That would be the logical thing to do. And yet, is that what Jesus does? No. So Paula and Wayne, I'm going to invite you. Was there a time during your ministry when you had a failure and you questioned? What was that like?
I'm thinking of a breakfast we did. We ran out of food.
You ran out of food.
Yeah. We had way more people than had signed up. We had to sign up way more people. So we had to do some, it was pretty panicky because the people had gotten pretty used to some sweet breakfasts. And when there wasn't enough crispy bacon, it'd get ugly.
There wasn't enough crispy bacon. That's no good.
No.
That's no good.
Not with bacon. You need.
So there are times, even in ministry, that really brings us life. And that has been a positive experience where we can feel that it's a failure. And the temptation can be to quit. And yet what Jesus does is something completely different. Instead of admitting defeat, Jesus moves on. And he does what? What happens next in the very next story? Who does he speak with? Do you remember? His disciples. He asks them for help. Instead of quitting, he gets new recruits. say, good luck, hope it works. No, he gives them what they need first. He empowers them, gives them authority, and he gives them the resources. Now you notice there's not many resources, but it's enough. It's what they need to get the job done. And then he instructs them, tells them what to do. And you'll notice, as a part of these instructions, he specifically prepares them for the reality of failure. He says to them, if anyone doesn't welcome you, or they refuse to hear you out, in other words, this is going to happen. Someone will not welcome you. Someone will refuse to hear you out. Leave and dust it off. He doesn't say, get in a verbal argument with them. See if you can convince them. He doesn't say, shout that gospel down their throats. It'll work. No. He says, just dust it off and leave. Don't take it personally. It's not about you. Just move on. How hard is that, friends? How hard is that in our life? When we're so passionate about something, and we have such big dreams, and then when we hit that first snag, and it's just so tempting to give up. And for some of us, who have minds that work a lot, we can get caught up in the failures that might happen before they even do happen. And that can keep us from doing anything at all. Part of fearless service is acknowledging the reality of failure. That it will happen. There's going to be a snag. It's not going to go perfectly. There's going to be a breakfast where you run out of crispy bacon.
No.
But you can't let that stop you. Maybe that means it's time to reevaluate. Bring a little extra crispy bacon next time.
Lots.
Have a couple extra people help with preparing. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to give up. Because here's the thing, folks. People desperately need what we have to offer. The love of God, that God cares for people who are normally overlooked, that God cares for those who are lost. People need that. And we have that to give, to pass on. So we can't let the snags, the failures, keep us from doing that work. And that's part of why we're a community here. We lift each other up when those failures will inevitably come. That's why Jesus sends them out 2 by 2. Because you need that other person. So today, we're going to try something new. After worship today, when we fortify ourselves with some snacks, we're going to do a faith walk through the community. We're going to knock on people's doors. We're going to do it. You're going to have the supplies you need to collect food for the food pantry. You'll have containers, you'll have directions, and you'll have a little card. Because you might knock at somebody's door and they say, you know what, I don't have anything on me, but I would love to give to the food pantry. And then you can just give them the card, and it'll tell them where to bring the food. So here's how it'll go. You knock. Maybe they answer. If they do, I was cognizant as I thought about this that this is the weekend right before elections, so they might not answer. But we'll knock, and if somebody comes to the door, they say, "Hi, I'm Pastor Pat. I'm from St. John's Lutheran Church down the street on Main Street." And then tell them what you're doing, right? Today we're doing a faith walk through the neighborhood, and we're collecting food for Quakertown Food Pantry. And then you can invite them to participate. Would you like to contribute to our food drive? And if they say yes, wonderful. And if they say no, I don't have anything right now, but I'll give something later, you can give them the card. Here's a card with the information about where to drop it off and some of the most needed items right now. And if they say, "You know what, I don't want to participate," thank you for your time. Have a great day. If they get nasty, don't get in their face. Brush it off, Troy. Brush it off. Brush it off.
Don't get in there.
And move on, there are other houses. Here's the thing, you can be confident that what you're doing is a good thing. You're not selling something. Not trying to force anything down their throats. You're inviting them to participate in something that will help people in need. That will show others that our community cares. That's worthwhile. Is it a little scary to go around knocking on doors right before election season? Yeah, a little bit. I had to be honest, I'm like, I got to do this too with them. I can't just stay at the church. I have to go out there. It's not my comfort zone either. And I've noticed, this is a very curious thing, that as a congregation and pastor, we're a little introverted, aren't we, friends? A little bit. A little bit. As a congregation, for myself as a pastor, we're a little introverted. So we're going to step outside our comfort zone. Some of you aren't, I'm not saying everybody. We're going to step outside our comfort zone. We're going to try this today. And you know what? God's going to be with us. And whatever we do, it will be the right thing. It will be enough. If we get 3 cans of food, that's 3 cans of food. And we stepped outside of our comfort zone and did something fearlessly in the name of God. Because like we said last week, it's not always about the outcome, it's about the process and the journey. And knowing that God and all of the saints before us are walking with us. Amen.